Hey Waffle Crew, I hope you're all doing great. I'm Mark, and today we're diving into some fresh Reddit tales. If you enjoy a good Reddit story, consider smashing that like button, subscribing, and maybe ringing the notification bell. Let's jump into our first story of the day. Sending tons of love, folks. Our first tale comes from a throwaway account who wonders if they're in the wrong for telling their fiancé that a 50-50 financial split means major lifestyle adjustments. The poster, a 26-year-old woman, shares that her 26-year-old fiancé sat her down recently for a serious talk about her not pulling her weight financially in their household. This caught her off guard, but she was open to listening since he wasn't entirely off base. He earns significantly more than she does, and they've always split bills proportionally, with him covering about 80%. When she asked what he wanted her to contribute now, he insisted on a 50-50 split. She asked if something was wrong with his job or if he needed to cut back on hours, but he dodged the question.
She would have been okay with the change if there was a clear reason, but he just kept saying he'd been thinking about it a lot, refusing to explain further. Every time she pressed for details, he shut her down with, "This is how it's gonna be, deal with it or leave." Frustrated but calm, she agreed to his terms and asked if he'd set up a Zillow account yet or if she should handle it. He was confused and asked why they'd need one. She pointed out that there's no way she could afford half the rent on their current place, so they'd likely need to downsize to a one-bedroom apartment. He got upset and questioned why she didn't have savings. She explained that she does have savings, but isn't willing to drain them for rent since that's unsustainable. She then outlined their new budget for food, entertainment, and transportation, noting they'd need to sell their Audi and Land Rover for a cheaper car because she couldn't cover half the payments. She also suggested cutting back on date nights, proposing budget-friendly options like Thursday's 2-for-1 boneless wings deal at Buffalo Wild Wings. In short, if he wanted a 50-50 split, they'd have to live within her income's limits, not his. He reluctantly agreed, but has been visibly furious since. His mood around the house is like a storm cloud. She sent him 6 Zillow listings, but he dismissed them as unlivable, for reasons she partly agrees with and partly doesn't. Now he's accusing her of being manipulative and unfair, claiming he raised a legitimate relationship concern, and she's steamrolling him. Is she in the wrong? The first commenter said she's not the jerk. They wondered if he's trying to push her to end the relationship so he can paint her as the bad guy, perhaps framing her as a gold digger. Now that she's accepted his ultimatum, he's the one who looks materialistic. Another commenter agreed, saying she's being reasonable. If he wants 50-50, her income sets the limit. They suggested he might be hiding something and advised preparing for him to possibly call off the wedding, hinting he's looking for an out without being the villain. Western Radish also said not the jerk, comparing it to a story where a husband complained about his wife's lack of makeup and cooking, but the real issue was deeper. They recommended a calm sit-down to discuss where this demand came from and what a fair solution looks like. If that fails, couples counseling might help address the communication breakdown. Diligent shared a similar experience, noting that when they faced a job transition, their husband covered more bills after honest talks, suggesting the fiancé might be in financial trouble and needs to come clean. Commenters speculated on various possibilities. He might be trying to end things while making her the bad guy, or he could be in financial distress, perhaps with his job. Many emphasized that a 50-50 split means living within the lower earner's means. The original poster, OP, provided 2 updates. In the first, she said the post blew up unexpectedly, so she owed a follow-up. After her Monday post, she spent the day reflecting. There was tension, silence, and plenty of Reddit advice, some helpful, some less so. Some even jokingly suggested this was a viral ad for Buffalo Wild Wings, Audi, and Zillow, which she wished were true for the cash. On Tuesday, after work, she confronted him while he was on the elliptical, calmly stating that if he wanted to marry her, he needed to answer her questions. She asked point-blank if he thought she was a gold digger. He said yes. She replied that she wouldn't stay in a relationship where she had to sacrifice stability to prove herself. This sparked a heated argument, leading to a shocking confession. They're drowning in debt. Their cars are at risk of repossession, and he's been skipping essentials, including psychiatric meds, without telling her. His family's comments pushed him to a dark place. He had a breakdown, apologized for the gold digger remark, but she was rattled and stayed with a friend. They later went to Buffalo Wild Wings for the 2-for-1 deal and talked extensively. She's still calling him her fiancé, but hopes they can work through this. They discussed selling the cars, their incomes, and the life they want. If they stay together, their lifestyle will change drastically to tackle the debt and get stable. She acknowledged some might think she's foolish for not leaving, but she can't abandon someone she loves who went off meds to provide for her. The wedding is on hold, and the future is uncertain. She apologized for the heavy update. 2 years later, OP updated again, thrilled to announce they're debt-free. It took nearly 2 years after her original post about the 50-50 split demand. Her fiancé had racked up almost $100,000 in debt, trying to maintain an unaffordable lifestyle on their $155,000 combined income. It was tough, and she nearly left multiple times, but they made it through. She took full control of finances, giving him a strict coffee budget. He stepped up with housework to balance things out. They moved from their lavish apartment to a shared house with roommates, which wasn't ideal, but better than her initial trailer idea. They have their own bathroom, which was her main condition. They lived like a $70,000 a year couple, splitting expenses 50-50, with his extra income going to debt. They sold the cars for a used Ford Maverick and a Vespa, which helped. No more extravagant vacations or pricey restaurants. Her fiancé, used to a rich boy life, struggled but adapted, getting creative with gifts and cooking together. Their room is filled with his handmade creations, and their love remains strong. They're planning to get their own place, then the wedding. She thanked Reddit for the advice, especially for pointing her to Dave Ramsey and Caleb Hammer. Commenters congratulated them, praising their teamwork and debt-free milestone. Some felt she should have left early on, but most were happy they worked it out. What do you think of this outcome? Are you pleased for them? Life's messy, but they seem back on track. Share your thoughts below, and let's move to the next story. Well, but what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and much love.